mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. You know I be on a what? Man on a mission, I'ma get it. You know I be on a what? Yeah. It's all hard, ain't no fear here. You ain't giving this.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another exciting special episode that's not special episode of Ride the Rebellion podcast, recorded at a weird time because Dale and I are both busy people now. We've become world famous. We're champions. That's how it works. So anyway, I welcome to the show. With me, as always, is the king of the South Alabama Turndown, the one and only Chief Operating Officer. I can't stop it now. Of Dale Boyd Sports Management, Dale Boyd.
Hey, what's up? And I'm just a prince now. I'm not a king anymore.
Oh, you're not the king anymore.
I don't have a belt. I don't have anything.
You can't be down about it. You've got like this halo of light on you. I fixed the eye lines, I think. I think if I look at you, you look at me. I think they're kind of right now. Sometimes I don't know anymore. Okay. Well, there he is, Dale Boyd Sports Management. So we're going to announce a winner at the top.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. So we did our random name generator gimmick. And the contest was, if you listen to the show, somewhere in there, I don't remember exactly how we did this. You just had to say you listened.
On Instagram.
On Instagram is where we announced it specifically. And we have a prize pack for, the winner was The Todd.
The Todd.
Which is Todd G, not Todd H.
Yeah. T. Brad on Instagram.
We randomly put this crap into a thing and randomly pushed a button, and this is what you get out of it. So Todd won. And to the people who have said to us before that you guys only give shit away to your friends, what do we say to them, Dale?
Well, our friends are the only ones that listen, apparently.
Sasquatch guy.
Oh, he's here every time.
It's perfect timing. I mean, Sasquatch guy. We can't do a podcast without Sasquatch guy. We
also cannot do a podcast without.
No, it's not. Is it really?
Aaron
Let's just go and put him on the phone right now. All right, I'm ready for you.
Ready? Aaron Friesmeyer, you are live on the podcast yet again. It's like clockwork.
How does this happen every time?
Every time.
It's because I'm off on Tuesdays. I'm off on a lot of Tuesdays, and you guys just happen to be recording for an entire day to make a 30-minute podcast.
We do. We have Well, you're live, so what's up?
All right, I'm live. Well, put me on the spot. What's good? What are we talking about today?
Did anybody show up in a shoe or a Chipotle burrito to the shop?
Not yet, and I'm highly disappointed because I've sold a lot of shoes, and I'm extremely hungry.
Well, that would be good. You might, if you show up to Aaron's shop, run and try, right into the sponsors. And by the way, this is not predetermined.
No, this is legit not. Right.
Yeah, I do not plan for Aaron to call me randomly on Tuesdays while we're recording, but it happens.
Look, I'll put it like this. I know we've still got to do the shoe giveaway. I'm down to come back on the pod to help do that. But if you want to put this piece in there, I have a ton of extra Bella Canvas Run 251 shirts. If you just come to the store and run, even just a mile, for all the bikers out there, do a little cross training. You just run a mile from my shop. Park, check in, go run. I'll give you a shirt till they're gone. I need to get rid of these things.
There you go.
Free shirts.
Here you go. See?
Free t-shirts.
Free t-shirts. All you got to do is run. And you can even run straight to Buffalo Wild Wings. It's right beside it. Not a sponsor.
This is the truth. You can do circles in my parking lot and I'll watch you.
This does not sound creepy at all, Aaron.
I will watch you for proof, just in case you don't have a GPS watch.
Fair enough. All right. Hey, I'll call you in a little bit. All right, later.
Dude, he just needs to come sit in now.
No kidding.
Like that is 100% not a planned gimmick. That is 100% a real.
It's like right in our sponsorships.
Yeah, so there you go. Run and try a sponsor.
A sponsor, yes.
We are giving away, or he is now giving away. Just heard it here. A T-shirt if you run a mile.
That's right.
Actually, my old office was down the street from him, and I think if you ran that 4 times, you'd get 1 mile.
Yeah, that's probably
so. You start from a shop down there, back up. So you get a downhill, an uphill, a downhill. It's not going to hurt you as a biker.
It's a free shirt.
You could just call it Zone 2 training and walk a mile.
Yeah,
and just be like, "This is as fast as I run. I'm a biker."
Just run there, pick up your shirt, get in your car, and leave.
That's fair too. Have your wife drop you off 1 mile away. Run in, look extra sweaty.
That's right.
Or your partner, whatever you might be.
I'm just going to dump water on myself. Be like, where's my shirt?
I was going to ask if I had the runs. Would that work?
Well, if you go in there as a burrito, possibly.
Yes, that's fair too. Okay, so there's Aaron out of the way. We obviously will get to one of our sponsors in a second. Let's give a shout out to Lucky Shot Coffee. Yet again, I am. Look at this. Look for my other business. There it is. Crappy little thing. I am drinking a cup of Lucky Shot Coffee as we speak.
We know what happens when Drew drinks caffeine too.
Yeah, it could get a little zany. Maybe not. I'm fired up for other reasons this morning. It's the end of quarter, and I'm all fired up. You can ask my team. They're tired of me already. All right, so Lucky Shot Coffee is one of our sponsors. If you haven't had their coffee, you can go over to LuckyShotCoffee.com. That's right. I'm actually giving it away in Christmas. Let me show you this. This is kind of fun.
Come back, Drew. Come back, Drew. Come back, Drew. Come back. He's back.
So you can see my butt.
He's back.
So I got these. I haven't shown these to Dale yet, but I've got these custom wooden box made. This guy made these for me. These custom boxes. They're really pretty good looking, simple boxes.
Pretty sweet.
But they're nice. And so inside, Shannon is going to make us a custom roast of Lucky Shot Coffee, the Craftshow custom roast.
Hell yeah.
Right. I may even call it the Reb roast and throw it in there just for fun, but presented by Craftshow just to tie it all together.
Awesome.
And we're going to give those away to our clients or certain clients as a thank you gift. The people that spent more than $10 with us.
Not our friends.
Definitely not our friends. No, our friends have done all right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Lucky Shot Coffee. And then our other one is Dirt Coaster Academy. And I got to give a shout out to them. If you didn't know, we'll talk about it here in a minute. But we had a race we went to a race 2 weeks ago. Is that fair? 2 weeks ago?
A week and a half, whatever.
Whatever it was. We went to a race a while back.
We went and raced.
We had a race. We'll talk about the race. The results don't matter at the end of the day because we would have podiumed, so everybody wins. But what was interesting was a lot of the stuff, again, that I've talked about before, the stuff that I learned from Dirt Coaster helped me ride that race better. And it was things that I didn't think out. Like, there was no drop. I bypassed the drop. We'll talk about why that was a wise call here in a minute. Dale experienced this firsthand.
Yes.
But the other side of this is a lot of like simpler stuff like cornering and those kind of things were in the back of my mind. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of nice to the stuff that you go to that class and you're like, I don't care about this shit. Like I've already done this. It pays off when you're suddenly in a race and you're like remembering. Like for me, it was like good triggering stuff to like trigger my memory of like, okay, I have the body, like I know my muscle memory, but this is like just something added to it. So
right on.
It worked out pretty good.
One of the other cool things about if you take a class, you become part of like the Dirt Coaster family, if you will, if you may, whatever. Because Toby and Nina were out there all day. Toby kind of hosted the race. He was the organizer. He was the main dude. So when you show up, had you have taken a class, you become part of the family. So the atmosphere is with you too, which is pretty sweet. It's not just like showing up and getting a shirt. They're like, hey Dale, good to see you, or hey Drew, or whoever you are, and it's cool. And I think they like it as well to see their students succeed. So that's pretty sweet. And
they got in on the joke of us shamelessly plugging the podcast as many times as possible.
That's right.
It was so ridiculous.
Hey, we will yell it all day.
It was bad, dude. It was all day long.
Next time I'm just going to wear a flag on my back.
We might as well, yeah.
Cape.
It just says, do you know I have a podcast? Follow me for a podcast.
Have I told you?
Yeah, have I told you? And that's like the equivalent of have you joined Samba yet?
No, I am like, so mine's less abrasive.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not the soft member. I can't go in that space, but mine's less abrasive, but yet it's still like hey, I just squeeze it in. Dude, I'm telling you, last night, like South football players officiate my son's football game.
Right.
And so like I'm a coach, I coach one of the players and I'm standing beside a South football player. He's a running back at South. Like he cares less about mountain biking, right? And so we're sitting there talking. He's like, so man, that's cool. So what do you do? I was like, hey, did I tell you I have a podcast? Like I just told
Oh my
him.
God.
And the kid was like, seriously? That's pretty sweet, man. I'm going to check it out. Like clearly, hey bro, if you're listening, I appreciate it, but you didn't have to. I know it was just telling me to shut
sure
up.
He was just
it was
like,
one of those like,
he was
shut
just
up,
like,
dude.
shut that old man up.
That's right. I'm sure that podcast is real good there, pal.
I'm sure it's just fine and dandy, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there you go, Dirt Coaster Academy.
That's right, Dirt Coaster Academy, right up to the alley.
We brought it right back. That's delightful.
Right. All the way around, full
so it
circle.
turned out to be, it was a good weekend on it. So with that, we can kind of talk into it. Do you need to get something off your chest, Dale?
No. It's really not that big of a deal. It's kind of poopy.
This is a straight inside joke. I apologize. We try not to put those on the show, but in this instance,
it was necessary.
there really was no choice. Had to happen. We do have to give a shout out. Rest in peace, in memory, in memoriam, sadly, of Bug's shoulder.
Bug's shoulder, his collarbone. Well, he's got a new one now.
Yeah, it's metal.
It's metal.
Yeah, I didn't see it happen. I was only afterwards. But yeah, on
it's kind of my fault, I guess.
So do we just want to go into this whole thing then?
I'll take the blame. Sure.
You want to tee it up?
Yeah.
How long were we there before this happened?
I think my GPS said 0.3 miles.
0.3 miles, less than 30 minutes. I think is a fair statement.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you want me to just go ahead?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So we decided, we knew that there is a 5-stage enduro race is what we were doing. We knew that the first 3 stages we were probably cool with. So we decided to go to stage 4 because it's got a couple rock gardens, pretty gnarly rock gardens that are, they're
rocks. We should preface this for those that are not in the know.
Here,
the rocks are not part of our ecosystem.
They are. They're just crushed into small granulars we call sand.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so sand is, whereas rocks aren't. And so when someone adds a rock garden, they're adding it in a way like in this case, it was quartz type rock. It was like big, chunky.
Big.
They're built. They're
ditches.
not. What's that?
Like ditches, rocks.
Yeah, that's right. That's totally right. All right, so rock garden.
Yeah, so we decided, hey, we better go check that section out first because that's the one going to be the most technical. Let's just hit it. So I have this problem where I can't just go in anything with ease, right? Like I'm not going to look like I probably should. I'm just dumb like that. Like, let's just go. Cool. And we had ridden this trail before. It wasn't like I had never ridden it in my life. I just never ridden it with the new changes, right? So we hit the rock garden. It's like rock garden, rock garden, rock garden. Then you go into a curve and there's like a rock garden into a bermed corner.
But it was almost like a skinny. It was like a garden skinny type thing.
Yeah. And then you go and there's a rock garden. And I just assumed it was a rock garden that would just drop straight down. No, it's a rock garden that does drop straight down, but it's like a 5-foot drop that's like gapped. When you have to clear another 3 foot maybe.
Right.
So I saw it at the last second. It was like, okay, cool. I just put an extra pedal crank in, cleared it, and I get down. And I knew Kevin and Bug and the whole group was behind me. So I knew that it was gnarly enough that I stopped and was like, oh wait, that was above a lot of pay grades.
Oh yeah.
So turned around and Kevin was like going back towards Bug. Bug was already on the ground. So it was probably my fault. There were signs everywhere. I just dodged them. I don't know. I
don't necessarily think it was your fault, but we did all go in. I went into it hot. Like I slammed on brakes, and the only reason that caught me is I heard the sound, and I was like, who was it? And I was looking around to see who it was. I was like, it's not one of us. Like there was another guy practicing it too. And then it turns out it was Bug himself. And then Bug's walking up. The worst part about this whole story for me, about the entire day, like the bad part of the day was like Bug's walking up there. He's got his bike, and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what can I help you with? You need anything?" He's like, "I'm good, man. I'm just going to the car." I think he told you the same deal.
He's like, "I know where the keys are. I'm just going to go hang out in the car. I'll be all right." Which we all just, that's...
Bogue Chitto has claimed 2 of our, the Todd who won today, and now Bug. I've both been bitten at Bogue Chitto pretty bad, snake bite style. And so he goes and walks away, and then we're down there riding, and we go finish we're scouting the rest of it out, getting we're talking lines and normal racy type stuff and getting ideas. And then I think we're on our way back up, and I see Toby, and he's like, yeah, they're taking him to the hospital. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, what happened? And we have no clue. Well, meanwhile, Jakey Poo, who never gets to go race, shows up to ride this race. Well, because we were down there and we had no idea, we had no clue the Bug was in such a bad way. We just thought he had just dislocated his arm. Jakey Poo's now on the way to the hospital. Those guys are gone. I get a call from them halfway through the opening ceremony conversation that they're about to run out of gas. It was a complete CF. It was like no one was prepared for any of this. It was awful.
Maybe we need to have an exit plan from going forward.
I think we probably should.
That's too adult.
It's very adult. It's very responsible of us.
It's almost as responsible as somebody that would have stopped and read the caution signs.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Clearly not me.
Either way, sure. So we ended up... Bug was gone. He said keep racing, so we didn't have to take him home. He had to go to the ER. They took him to urgent care, and the urgent care to the hospital or something. And then they doped him up.
Oh yeah, they did.
Oh yeah, boy. There's a great photo. I don't know if that photo can leave our
Oh no.
Yeah,
I have the photo. I have the freestyle rap.
Freestyle rap's gold.
It is gold,
but it's offensive.
That'll resurface. It's not that.
It's okay.
Yeah,
it's from Step Brothers, isn't it?
Uh huh.
Yeah,
it was a movie.
But he quoted every single word. Like he knew every bit of it. It was insane.
Yeah, that was when Bogue came back. He did come back to the race.
Yeah, he did return.
Enjoyed the fruits of his pain pills.
Yeah. The end of it. Yeah. And then Jakey Poo got to ride a little bit.
That's right.
So the race overall, what was your take on the race and talking about, like, obviously, you know, we'll talk to the weird point, but what was your take on the race overall?
So
in general?
I think the race, I mean, this is my second enduro. Both of these enduros took place at places that aren't traditionally enduro race courses. So they were kind of put together differently than, you know, somewhere like Oak Mountain or Coldwater somewhere would be. But I think that they did a great job with both of them. Let's talk with Bogue Chitto, I guess. They did a great job with the progression of things getting harder. So it was like the first one was really mellow, really chill, and then it progressively got harder, and there was different things you had to be able to do to compete. And I think that was really cool because it was like, man, just when you're getting tired, you had to stay strapped, you know, stay strapped or get clapped, you know, because it was serious. And
no, there's no joke.
And Bill wrecked too. Bill that was with us, we didn't talk about him. I mean, he's 63 and he was racing enduro. He hit the rock garden a little stiff.
Same stage, stage 4.
Yeah,
a little earlier in the rock garden though.
Yeah.
But did he go off trail the first time? Because
he did the same thing I did.
The other thing that's important about this enduro is it was a fun duro, so there was a restart allowed,
right? Which
is where the controversy eventually ends up.
Yeah, he did the same thing I did.
Got it.
So he came back up. So it was his second run too. But he hit the rock garden a little stiff, flipped off the bike and landed in the next rock garden like on his back.
Somebody has side profile footage of it.
Yeah, and he had GoPro footage of it.
Oh man, I mean, I'd love to, not because I love to celebrate fails. I don't celebrate fails. I don't do Fail Friday or any of that business. But it is a gnarly wreck and shows how severe. Like those were hard rock gardens. Because they weren't natural. They weren't run. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. They just weren't built in as normal. They were like race lines, and they were built for the race. And so it wasn't necessarily like something that like hundreds of people have ridden over multiple times. You know, it was what it was. Which again, I have no problem. It was for the race, but it was what it was.
It was definitely a challenge. You had to pick your line and don't turn.
Yeah.
Just roll with it. Lean back just a tad.
Yeah.
Maybe keep some speed. I think speed was your friend on that stage.
Yeah.
The faster you go, obviously the scarier it is, but the easier you get through those rock gardens, the better.
Yeah, it was. I'm with you. I mean, I had a couple of spots where I'd walked and had a line that I was, but I knew it going in. But it was like if I hit it at this speed, I'm going to come out so much faster. But to your point, 100%, you just got to go in and go.
Yeah, I did. I did get some good bangs on my cranks, some scratches from the rocks, pedaling in and out.
Man, I locked neutral and I was just like, here we go. I would speed into it and no pedal out unless I had to. I had to do a couple of pedal kicks through it to kind of push through. But that was stage 4. If looking at stage 1, 2, and 3, like Dale said, the flow of everything I thought was good. I thought it was fun. The thing that was odd to me, and again, having not ridden that many enduros, was because these were open trails, there was a lot of like little features that were built for the trail that were just fun little features. Like I think it was stage 3 had like this little off camber kicker.
Yeah.
It was cool if you hit it. It made you cool.
But it made you faster if you didn't.
But it was faster not to. And so like it seemed to make more sense. And I even think the guy that won didn't hit it. I think he skipped it as well.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Just manualed through everything. He's a speed racer. So.
He's a beast. He was a beast.
Yeah.
So even looking at the trails, you know, and then obviously once we talked about stage 4, you get to stage 4 and it's rock garden. Even the B line wasn't hard, but it had a little drop. It wasn't major. And there's a gap jump and then a couple other ways down. That one got hard on the back end of it. I felt like when you got to this, it felt like riding Blakely for us locally, if you understand that concept. The back half of the stage 4, where it was like real skinny up hills and then it was narrow root drops. I was like, well, we've ridden this a dozen times at Blakely. Like this is nothing on our side of things.
My chain came off on the last one.
Yeah, it was bad. You came through. I wish I would have filmed it. I just wasn't in the zone for that.
I probably wouldn't have gone much faster just because I was maxed right there, but I went to put one pedal crank. I was like, oh, whoa, hey. Yeah. Thought something was broken. But
yeah, I was scared that you'd pull another Dale and shatter your chain. And then your mechanic wasn't there. He was taking Bogue to the hospital. And then stage 5 was an interesting scenario. Again, there was Yeah, there was a lot of rocks. There was a rock berm that was a lot of fun, but there was that TP thing, whatever they call that. And there was a big drop at the beginning. I don't know if hitting that drop would have given, it looked like most people hit and they compressed so much that it pushed them off. Yeah. And then they got offline. It seemed like, again, another spot where drop was cool for cool points, but I don't know how good it would be for.
Yeah, I think the B lines, that's what you're saying. I completely agree that the B lines might have been faster at this particular race, but just because I think that their focus was more on the gnarly side.
Yeah.
Like, let's make it as gnarly for the A riders as possible to prove that, like, the Gulf Coast can have badass gnarly trails. And I think they achieved that goal. I mean,
100%.
To me, I think it's awesome. For an inclusivity standpoint, there were so many people that dropped out from after stage 3.
Yeah, that was kind of wild. There was a lot of number drops. I mean, there was a lot of things that went.
The last 2 stages were so tough.
Yeah. I mean, they were hard. They were tough in comparison because they took a lot of focus and energy, and I was tired. Like even my caloric burn was way up. But that was like similar to some of the stuff, I guess, from riding Chattanooga enough. Like they do that stuff in their sleep. Like Raccoon Mountain, that's what all it is. Except they're obviously they're ridden in more. But that's what they're cranking on all the time. So to them, it seemed a little. I guess maybe if you're from up that way, it's not so brutal. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it. I mean, it was fun. It's hard to do. It's hard to do a beginner like a beginner style, like to have a beginner segment and do it on that level of maybe you have to have a whole other line for some of it.
Yeah.
Because some of those people, like I do this when I coach youth sports. My goal is to not win. It's not to do much. It's to get them to want to come back next year. Right. So like, your goal as a race promoter is like, let's get them to come back again, right?
Yep.
So you want to, the advanced guys are going to come back no matter what. Like they are addicted to it. It's the beginners that you're trying to capture. And I know it's not always fun to like cater to the beginners. And we run into that at the Reb all the time because it's like, hey, everybody has a different level, right? We've got to build it to make it interesting for everybody. And those of us that are advanced, I call myself advanced, but those of us that are advanced are going to go there whether it's beginner or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we have to find a way to make the beginners want to keep coming. And I think that like you make jumps that you can jump to that are fun for everybody, that are fun, So I think that's probably the challenge that we all face in every aspect of it.
Well, I think some of it too, though, is we've talked about now, like the drop at the Reb was super intimidating at first, and it's still serious. I take it seriously, but going into it's so much easier. Like I just don't think about it as much anymore. It's just like, oh, cool, another feature we have. Whereas there's still like guys that have ridden out there, just using homegrown as an example here, that haven't hit it because they're afraid of, it still intimidates them and gets them going, or not throw him under the boat, but like Christabel, I'm coding his name here just in case he gets pissy. But Christabel did not want to do the rock stuff, and I get it. He didn't feel comfortable, which I think we talk about all the time. Don't do it. Don't do something stupid. But when he came back, he was fired up because he wanted to practice. So now we have a rock garden. Right. Like, so we built a rock garden at the Reb for that very reason, so that he could practice on it. And now he's flying through it and wants more rocks. Right. So like he's building his confidence up. When you don't have a lot of those features, you got to be able to attack them any way you can. So in fairness to what they did over there, that I'm agreeing with you on, great idea to put it on, because it does make me want to come back. And it does make me want to go ride other lines over there and be like, oh, man.
It made us want to build new stuff.
It inspired. That's exactly right. I mean, what could you ask for? What better could you ask for than a race that inspired you to build more trails?
Right. It's funny, though, because like I get there, like other people's point of views. My point of view is like, wait, I don't know if I can ride that. There's only one way to find out.
Right.
Like I'm not the like, let's build it up to this level. Like, let's just do it.
Right.
But there's stuff. I haven't done the Tower of Terror at Bogue Chitto just because I'm like, do I have the skills? Probably. Am I a baby? Probably.
What about the penis jump or whatever they call it?
I skipped that too. I don't know why. I think
it's in my head that Vic, like,
yeah, I think too.
And Vic's a pretty good rider, but he's not come back to that level. I'm not throwing you under the bus, Vic, but I don't think you have.
I've hit it one time. Yeah. I did hit it one time when we were there last time, but I wasn't going to hit it in the middle of the race.
Yeah.
Like that. Like I'm not going to, it's almost like, why don't you have a GoPro on your bike? Well, I want the least amount of things that can go wrong to go wrong.
I don't want to think about it. Right. That was my problem, is there's no footage of this race from us because we all had them.
Right.
But none of us wanted to think about it.
I just don't want to mess with it. It's like, why, if I have the ability to go around something like that, I'll just go around it.
Especially if it's faster.
Right.
I'm sure there's guys out there that would like Toby, who's super accomplished, that could send it and still make it a time valuable. But I just don't believe that overall. I think the majority, and some of those guys, there's a dude out there, shout out to other Jimmy that was riding the hardtail version of your bike.
Yeah.
That dude was sending it. Yeah, he's a good rider.
There's some really good riders. Matt rides out there all the time.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Yeah. They're all great. Everybody out there, the best part was everybody out there was super friendly. There was competition in the air, but it was never douchey competition. No. It was very much like friendly competition across the board. And there was a lot of support. There's a lot of cheering and stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm a notorious, like, I love to share the Stoke, so I'll cheer. I was cheering the guys in my group on because we went based on number.
Yeah.
And so I was constantly cheering on we call him the dad bod squad. And then other Jimmy, shout out to other Jimmy. He's like, he said, you guys don't have dad bods. And I was like, wait, is that saying because we're in good shape or because we're fatter than dad bods? And Jimmy said something like, no comment.
Oh, wow.
I was like, you're a douche. But it was good. It was like a good time. But it was fun to have this group of us towards the back end. You unfortunately were separate. You kind of had to go back. And Carrie was separate.
Yeah, she was
shout out to Carrie too, who rode the whole damn thing by herself.
And she won.
She did. She came in first place, crushed it. She had no other support from us because she was way out ahead. She was like in 140s.
At this race, I say you do all the stages. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, she hit every single one. She got frustrated a few times. There was a big heard from the woods where she just didn't like the way she took a line and she pulled a carry. Gave a little emotion for it. It was still good though. So at the end of the day, there was a mild controversy. We'll talk about it here. They allowed restarts. I was in second place. Dale would have been in first place. The restart didn't happen on his correctly, which bumped me into gold.
Yeah,
and then unfortunately for Dale, put him at the bottom.
Last place. Thank you. I got last place. I think it was just that's a karma move for me going in the beginner stage, I guess. But I think I would have got.
You were good. Overall, you and I was impressed with both of our riding we were both, I think you were a total of 13 seconds. If we calculate that last number, you were ahead of me by a chunk. But even then we were both mid pack. You were upper mid pack.
I was like fourth, I think.
Yeah. I mean, you were strong in that numbers. That's pretty good, dude.
I mean, that's when I did the beginner. No, they had open class at the last one. And I got third in that. There was like 25 people or something. But this one, it was like, I've only raced one. Like, I don't know what to expect. I don't know who's going to be there.
Right.
So beginner it is. So
no, I don't. I think it's fair. I think it's totally fair. It's different though if you had done a bunch of XC races, like a lot, and gone in XC, and then still. I mean, you're kind of. If you stayed at XC, I'd argue you could go for Cat 2. Like
I probably
you're knocking on the door.
Right.
Like you blew the last bike race. You blew some dudes way out of the water.
Yeah, that was stupid. That was the last XC.
But you were tired after that, right?
Oh, I was tired-ish.
Retired-ish. I'm just tired.
I think that whole race was just because like I hadn't trained for it or anything. I just knew I was going, and if I hadn't signed up for racing, I would have been depressed. Like, man, I wish I would have raced today.
And were you on your camber for that?
Yeah, I still have. I was only had.
Oh, is that the only one back then? Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, you had the frame. You just didn't have the parts.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's funny we bring that up, like different types of racing, because I thought it would be fun for our topic of the day. So that's just a little ride report. But our topic of the day is I saw this bullshit show up on my Facebook feed, and I can't wait to it is a what kind of mountain biker quiz.
Oh my God.
And I think
did you take it?
No, we're gonna take it together.
Oh my God, we're gonna
right now.
Is that on your Facebook? Because Russia's about to hack your account.
No, this one is from the UK. It's legit.
That's just as better. KGB coming or whatever theirs is. I don't know.
So MI5. Okay. So I know them all. My people are the Mossad. Anyway, so we're gonna take this little quiz, and you can play along at home to figure out which type of mountain bike are you, because apparently this was the thing. Now, granted, this is slightly dated. That's what makes it better. But this is
here we go.
This is all for the ratings. All right. The first question is,
the people.
And then you can just tell me your answer. First question.
Oh, we're doing me first?
Yeah.
Okay.
Your friends ask you to pick the next riding destination. You say, the same place at the same time as always. Anything else is too difficult to organize. That actually kind of sounds...
Oh, man.
Somewhere with a meaty climb to get your teeth into. Not Dale. Somewhere to show off your, quote, sick whips.
Oh, God. Yes.
I should have changed it to
turn down and just click it.
Anywhere with lots of people so you can show off your newest bits of kit. That's not you.
That's not me.
You're not a kit junkie. Whoever has
Or
the
jean
best
shorts.
selection of cake.
You got to be the
It's gotta be
turn
the-
down thing.
It's got to be
The whips.
somewhere to show off your sick whips.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
I think for me,
we got 2 going.
damn,
You got the cake, boy.
I'm a cake guy. You're right. All right, so here's the next next piece here. You're lost in the mountains. Do you follow your nose to the nearest cafe? Climb to the top of the nearest mountain to survey the terrain. Rifle through your pack for the map because of course you've forgotten it. Pull out your latest GPS device and get home no problem. As long as there's a nice view to put on Instagram, you don't care. I know the answer to that one.
Instagram
That
for
is
sure.
100% Dale Boyd Instagram. There's no
Instagram,
doubt.
baby.
I'm unfortunately the dude that would climb to the top of the mountain. Like
All
that's I would do it. I had to do it. I've done it.
Well, since I'm getting good gram photos, I'll be right there beside you, I guess. Climbing
That's the only way you get Dale to climb to the mountain.
for the gram.
It's for the gram. You're Han Solo though. You're Han Solo in Star Wars when they come to him, they're like, listen, she's rich.
Hey,
She's
say-
got money. She's got Instagram.
You
posts.
can either lure me to a van with candy or say there's a sweet kicker jump at the top of a hill I can get great photos in.
No, it's a van that opens up. And they're like, "Hey, Dale, this guy wants to see your turn."
Oh, God.
And he gets right in. Where are you taking me?
There's a cool place to take pictures, too. It's great.
Okay, question number 3. Your ideal holiday would be Finale Ligure. I don't even know that, but only for the food and wine. That's above my pay grade. Holidays sound like too much faff. I'll just ride where I always do. Whistler. Then I can go hang out with the pros. Eurobike. I want to check out all the latest kit. Somewhere in the Alps, but I won't be taking the chairlifts.
I'm going to stay on our continent and go to Whistler.
Yeah. Well, I can change it. It's somewhere in the
we're good.
US with a chairlift. It doesn't really matter. You go to Whistler. Yeah.
Whistler's awesome.
That's tough for me because I like to look at kit. I find it fun. But if I had a choice, I guess it is Whistler for me.
Whistler.
I mean, I don't. Just to say I did it, I could say Bentonville. I should have changed it. We should have thought through that. It should be Bentonville or Whistler. Yeah, I would probably done Bentonville.
Yeah, Bentonville would probably.
Yeah, I wonder if I can go back.
Probably more feasible.
Probably
it's
can't.
okay.
Oh well,
just pick
we're
Whistler.
douchebags. We're going to Canada. Pink bike it is. It starts to rain while you're out on a ride. Do you? Well, listen, we live in the South.
Oh, yeah.
Do you power through regardless? You're made of tougher stuff than this. Just put up with it and get wet because you forgot to pack a rain jacket. You're never without a breathable, waterproof jacket. You barely even feel it. Moan on Twitter or Instagram about how you wish you were somewhere warm. Just shelter the nearest cafe until it passes.
Just
you
power through it.
Yeah, that's a total Dale move.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'll just put up with it and get wet because I forgot my jacket. Like, I don't really, I don't think about such things. No. Uh-oh. You've just had a crash. Do you roll around in pain, wishing you remembered a first aid kit? Get back on the bike. You've still got 20 miles to ride. Take as a sign you should probably end the ride and eat some cake. Check your bike. Check your bike is okay before you worry about yourself.
That's definitely it.
No, it's not. This is
Okay.
Ask if anyone filmed it so you can upload
That's
it.
definitely it. Clickety clackety.
I don't know, man. I'm probably the one filming, so that's probably not going to be me. I guess. Damn, I'd still probably get back on the bike. I've not had a crash bad enough.
I keep going.
Yeah, I mean, I know you would, but that's pretty appropriate for.
Yeah, for what I do.
Yours is going to be like you're a cool dude and you're an XC rider, and I'm going to have to start wearing spandex if that's the case.
That is the case.
Your friends decide to call it an early day. Do you breathe a sign of relief as you've run out of water and food anyway? Head to the nearest bike shop to check out any new products. Rue the missed cake opportunity. Go off and do 2 other hours of riding on your own. Rush home to get your Strava times uploaded before anyone else.
What was the first one?
Breathe a sigh of release as you run out of food and water anyway. You'd probably get ride by yourself.
I'd go ride by myself.
Yeah, that's much more your jam. I'm going to say miss the cake opportunity.
Also, we can change cake for beer.
Yeah, beer is
Yeah,
definitely much more appropriate, especially now. All right, let me flop cameras. It's time for an uplift day. I don't know what that means. What do you think that means?
Let's think European.
Stoke day. Let's say a
there
stoke
we
day,
go.
I think is what it, looking at these.
Yeah, because holiday, vacation.
Or maybe it's
Is it uplifted?
I don't know what an uplift is.
All right.
I'm trying to figure it out. Let's see. It's time for an uplift day. Maybe a bike park.
Okay.
Maybe that's what it means.
Yeah.
Get excited. More runs equals more GoPro clips. I mean, that's the answer. Research how to protect your frame on the trailer.
Shuttle day. It's
Shuttle
a
day.
shuttle day.
Got it. Go along, but pedal up the clips. Pedal up the climbs. Forget to book the forget to book the shuttle until it's too late and there's no more places. Check what the local cafe has to offer first. You're 100% GoPro clips.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're probably
argue
the research how to protect your bike on.
Not me. Have you seen my shoot? I throw it down.
That's true.
I'd probably be more on the GoPro side of things because I would be
GoPro.
like, if we're doing a shuttle,
Heck
like
yeah. We're making good content because we got time.
that's exactly that's how we roll things. A winter ride means a day in bed. By the time I've got all my kit together, it's nearly dark anyway. That's neither one of us.
No.
As long as there's plenty of stops for hot drinks, I'm happy. What hot drinks? We've never had that. Fewer people out on the trails to get in my way sounds great. A chance to take some awesome snowy photos. There's
I
no
would
snow.
say the fewer people. for
Yeah,
me.
sloppy mud to ruin my lovely clean bike. Yeah, fewer people is.
Fewer people. Which down here doesn't translate.
Oh, now we're calculating results.
Oh.
Now we're both the same.
Oh, good.
We are the disorganized mountain biker.
That's
You turn up usually late and in muddy kit from the last ride. You definitely haven't brought a spare tube. I don't know if that's the case.
Bullshit.
I'm going to call garbage on that. We're both fairly.
This is why we won the war.
That's exactly
Sorry,
right.
Europe.
What is it? I mean, what does that mean otherwise? Like, what are the other options?
I don't know.
Now I'm curious to see, like, what is the other options? Like, oh, you're a snooty douche noodle.
That's disappointing. It's probably an insult in Europe, though. You're probably over there. You probably have to be like super perfect about everything, Rob Warner style. Like show up with everything like in line.
Oh yeah, that's fair enough. What a letdown.
Yeah.
Maybe you should just figure out what kind of mountain bike you are by riding your bike.
Or just be you. More
Yeah.
importantly.
What kind of mountain bike are you, Dale? You have to have a classification, Dale. There's only 76 of those to go through.
I identify as
Down
a beginner,
XC.
a beginner enduro racer. That's what I identify as. That
don't
likes
know.
to poop in porta potties.
Yeah, I identify as fun.
Just fun.
I just want fun. Like I'm not as competitive as you are though. Like competition kicks in for you. I guess competition's fun for somebody who's competitive.
My competitiveness wears me out sometimes. Like I just can't have fun. I mean, I can if I set my mind to it that this is just for fun.
Not if there's a clock involved though.
If there's a clock, it's not going to be fun. Or if I'm on my XC bike and there's a Strava on, it's not fun.
What happens if there's like a Ryan Turner or one of those other guys that's super fast there?
I break his leg before we leave.
Oh,
Then I have
a
a
little
chance.
Tony Harding style.
I beat one of his Strava KOMs last week. I sent him a text and was like, "What's up, punk? Got the parachute off my back because I rode my XC bike today."
That
But-
dude's fast though. He's
super
fast as
I
boy.
said, I'm just giving you a heads up so you can go beat it next week.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably beat it 3 times
Yeah.
just to really establish it.
If he didn't beat it, he's probably beating
He's like,
it.
that was after leg day.
He's definitely beating it somewhere.
Ryan, I don't really know you, but
I love
I
you,
feel like I
Ryan.
do now.
I love you, Ryan. You can listen to this in your tree stand while you're deer hunting when you take a bike break because you need it.
So we can get some more KLMs.
Yeah, so we all can enjoy our Strava time a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I mean, that was my big thing, and it turned out to be a fizzle.
Yeah.
What kind of rider are you? But at the end of the day, I don't
Hey,
think
let's
it really
answer
matters.
that. Hey, comment on this post.
Yeah, there you go.
Comment on our thing.
What kind of rider are you, legitimately? What do you think you are? I
Be
think
honest.
disorganized means that we're not the formal. I
Yeah,
think what
we
it
just
called.
like to have
We're
fun.
not XC.
No.
We're not downhillers because downhillers are like way put together in some cases. We're not really free riders because we're not doing stupid shit. We like to just stop and take pictures. I think disorganized equals fun.
Yeah. Let's say down here you don't have too many options because it is what it is. But like how would you describe yourself? If somebody said, "Hey, oh, you ride mountain bikes? What kind or what
Right.
style?
What style? Yeah,
What
yeah.
style do you
That's a
ride?"
good question. What style is it? I would say I think it's tough. At the end of the day, I don't know. I don't know what category I fall into. I hear all these phrases. I don't think they matter. But I think it is fun to ask the question of
No, it
saying
is
what
fun.
style is it? Because maybe The one interesting thing is if you do have a propensity for one thing, as a Dale Boyd Sports Management, legitimate question here, if you have a propensity for one style or another, and you might want to look at encouraging it. Is that not a fair statement? Like if you're good at pedaling,
just be
why
good
not
at pedaling.
pedal? Right.
Yeah, don't try to be who you're not.
Right.
In tons of cases, like be who you are. People are going to like you better if you are who you are instead of posing as something else. Right.
Well, that's facts.
It is facts in every aspect of life.
No, that's all facts.
Hang out in the parking lot, be who you are.
Yeah. Well, we learned everything from mountain biking anyway. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it's a lot of life lessons.
Yeah.
There really is. You find out who you are as a person when you are 70 miles from the car and you got one little sip of water left.
Yeah. I got to use my stupid water filtration thing, and that was like the highlight of my year. I was so excited to go down to an actual stream that wasn't full of like toxic waste.
It works. Look, he survived.
Yeah, I did not get diarrhea later.
Or malaria or whatever else.
No, I was good. I was fine after it. But that was it. I mean, it was cold water. I got to go, and it was in the middle of the summer. It was blazing hot. It was perfect. It was one of those things of like, that's something stupid. But it was one of those moments of like, that's what I enjoy. Or we built a new trail, and that new trail, watching people ride it
for a second. It's new. Look, you want to update with the Rebellion?
Yeah, go for it.
Let's not confuse
things.
things.
Yeah, it's going to make things.
So season 2 kicked off.
Yep,
right?
officially.
We renewed the lease.
Yep.
And we got insurance, and we're ready to rocking and rolling. Pretty awesome. Some of us have gotten super excited really quick. Other people will get their asses in the mood soon enough. But showed up Saturday, new trails built. Drew pumped out a new trail.
Yep.
That's like his porn.
That's what I do.
Trail porn is his porn.
That's my jam. I go cut trails. That's what I do for therapy.
Cutting trails and the rock garden, Chris's idea, and somebody graciously dumped their concrete.
Yeah, I had no idea until we saw Matthew and them. They were like, "Hey, somebody just dumped that there." I was like, "That was perfect.
Right,
that's what we needed."
Some scavenger dumped their shit on our land.
It was great.
Hey, thanks, pal. We'll use it. Did that, and then cut more trails off of that, and then we tried some stuff that failed. We tried a road gap.
Yep.
It was no gap.
No gap.
About died.
Yeah, it was rough. It was like two people in the world that could have hit it, and they were both named Dale and Jake, and that was it.
And we almost died when we were testing it, so we removed it. Plan B. So we changed that up. It's fun being trial and error.
Yeah, that's the way it works. It's the only way it works. I think one of the things we're throwing out there is if somebody wants to come ride there, you can send an email to us. And it is a screening process. We're not discriminating against you as a human being or for any reason at all. We're just going to screen it.
A lot of liability involved.
We do. And we want to make sure that you fit within, it's like a job, right? We want to make sure you fit within our culture as much as our culture will fit with you. Because there's no reason for you to come out there and it's expensive, or some people think it's expensive. I think it's cheap for the amount of quality I get.
I mean, we don't want to burn down our forest proverbially.
Yeah, that's right.
By one bad ash.
That's correct. Totally correct. So if you would like to come out there and ride, you can send a self-addressed stamped on. I've always wanted to say that. You can actually shoot an email to ridetherebellion@gmail.com. Put in the subject line, I want to ride at the Rebellion. Don't say at the Reb, because that's confusing. Different. You'll see why. I want to ride at the Rebellion, and then just give us some information about you. And if you're local or we can ride with you, that's the bigger thing is we got to ride with you. So we'll come ride with you. If we've got to organize it, great. If you're local, we can meet you somewhere and ride, like at South or Blakely, somewhere public. And, if it works, we'll see what happens. But all it's got to be is about just being cool.
Yeah, and this is a new thing that we haven't done in the past.
That's correct.
So if you haven't been there before and haven't gotten invited, this is all new for season 2.
That's correct.
So yeah, it's a thing. We'll see how it works.
Yep. And we may be rolling out day passes at some point. Those will have certain conditions to those day passes. Same thing though. You might as well send in a submission for it. Once we get all this stuff worked out, we're working hard. Like we've said, we're trying to make it as accessible as we can within the confines of what we have. I mean, it's essentially built by people like us that have the same mindset as us. You have to take that quiz and be disorganized. Apparently.
Well, disorganized with a little bit of self-starter in you.
Shit, we built the whole damn thing.
I know, but I'm saying like you can't just show up and be like, "Oh, trails done."
Yeah, right.
Like we've worked hard.
Oh, we worked very hard.
Doesn't look like it, but
I think the people that ride out there appreciate it. I think the people that for their first time, you see their eyeballs get big, and I think
that is what's awesome.
I think
what happens to us though, not to interrupt you. I'm
yeah,
sorry,
go ahead. No, you're good.
What happens to us is we're out there so much that like we ride and then we're like, oh, new trail, let's pound the shit out of it, and then it's like, all right, that one's done. Let's do something different. Yeah. And then you forget about all the trails we've done that on. And if you went out there, like say we go out there Sunday, heads up, let's just go out there and start and ride every single trail. Right. And see how much it's like, damn, I forgot how fun that was. Well, I mean, because we forget about it.
Just tracking for mileage. We haven't updated all the new mileage. There's a good bit of miles. Like even if you're not a hardcore, you want to do, there's beelines on everything, but even if you're not a hardcore drop monkey, like that just wants to drop everything in sight and jump and bounce okay, cool. There's plenty of, I guarantee you, I think there's 10 miles and it's higher elevation than anything else down here. So at the end of the day, you end up like, you get your ass kicked.
Right. So he just dropped another thing. You can be a drop monkey as a cyclist.
Yeah. You could be a drop monkey.
Drop monkey.
Yeah. You just drop in.
Actually, speaking of Turner, I invited Turner out. He's not a jumper at all, but he's a mileage guy. And there's ways that he could get some super steep mileage in different spots and like put down super training out there. So.
It's much more elevation than you would find at any of the other. Maybe I think Blakely's close elevation wise.
Blakely's just super steep.
Yeah, there's spots.
We have a lot of sustained climb.
Yeah, Blakely's like little short burst, and ours have some long stuff. Okay. Well, that's it. You can go to you can go to the website too if you'd like. You can go to ridetherebellion.com. You can find some merch, which is always awesome. I think the email's on there as well, but the email is ridetherebellion@gmail.com. If you want to attempt to ride out there, we're happy to have you potentially. There is a small application process. It is a membership. It is a members only club, and that comes with access to the trails. That's how it works. And there's a fee for that every year. That's where we're at. It's not an open call, but it is hey, we want to share with more people. So we're looking to see it expand even further, and we might as well. The insurance said go for it, so we're doing it.
And you have to adhere to a strict set of rules. Like, I mean, we've put in work and worked hard to make it what it is. Like,
there's no Strava.
Don't try to ruin it.
Right. Like no Strava.
No Strava. No Strava.
There's no. And also just be nice. Like don't be an asshole. Which is 50% of this situation.
We're assholes though. You and I are the king assholes. So if you guys want to be assholes, you got to go through the kings first.
That's exactly.
Actually, there's another supreme ruler of king assholes above us.
Yeah.
But he's not technically above us. He's on a separate branch.
Jesus. Oh, well, I'm sure he's going to listen to this and we'll get a meme referencing it later.
I can't wait.
Which is what happens.
He likes it.
Fantastic. That's my favorite thing is like, I wonder if he listened to this episode and then we just get a random meme that's a little confirmation.
And we have to figure it out. There's no direct answer.
Nope. It's my favorite part. It's my favorite thing.
It's all puzzle. If you can put the puzzle together, we can be friends.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah, it's good. Okay, that's going to do it for the show. So thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. Don't forget you can go by Run and Try, run a mile, get a free shirt. It's a Belly Canvas shirt. That's going to be comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
And they look cool. Congrats to Todd Golf on winning his prize, whatever it is. Maybe it might just be a slap in the nuts. But
that's probably more deserving.
Yeah, it's probably more appropriate. Hadn't seen him in a minute.
Piggly wiggly feet.
I think we need a shirt with that.
That would be good. With his face on it.
Oh, yeah. Them some Piggly Wiggly feet or something.
Oh, my God. Yeah. So many quotes.
So many. We're going to have them on one day, but it'll be a 3-second episode.
What do you think about a guest next time?
I think we're probably overdue.
Yeah, we can only talk to the people so much.
I almost was like open call. Whoever walks through the door can come be a guest. And I was like, that could be.
We need to have a guest that's not selling anything. Like Bug. You know how Bug was like free balling? We need somebody like that.
I want to get Jakey Poo on because he's got these crazy stories.
It'd be crazy, but he doesn't want to. This is a camera and a microphone, and he's still doing the turnstile phone stuff. It's too much technology for him.
Jesus. All right, well, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out.
Love
and as
y'all.
always, don't forget what Dale says.
So good.
Oh, my God. Perfect.